No, seriously. Thank you. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, you know, when we rehearsed this, it wasn't that long, okay? We wanted to go for half that length.
Right. Well, things tend to spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it became a cattle auction. Did you hear that? A lot of just random shouting and sort of...
Well, I bought a lovely heifer.
You really did?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you.
Her
name's Elsie.
Oh, well, very nice,
Yeah,
Elsie.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're all named Elsie.
Well, it's a safe bet.
Welcome to the show tonight. We have an excellent show tonight.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn is on the program. Big deal.
I want you guys to know it's the Sean Penn. We're not trying to bait and switch.
Yeah.
Not just some other guy named Sean Penn.
The last two times we've had Sean Penn on, it's been the realtor Sean Penn.
Yeah.
People got really pissed.
Yeah. He's super funny, but
he was
Sean
great.
Penn.
He was fantastic. Sean Penn has 2 more Oscars than I do. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, wow.
Someone finally beat me. I was going to talk about this. I had something happen to me today. You maybe have had the same experience. I live here in Los Angeles. I was driving to work today on the old 101 freeway, and I was looking around, and I noticed so many people driving next to me on their phones, not even looking at where they were going.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this? It's crazy. Yes. And this is the deal. Apparently, nationwide distracted driving is up 10% since last year. Yeah. No, I looked that up on the phone while I was driving. Seriously, found a mailman on the hood of my car later. No, that's a true thing. It's up 10%. It's a real problem here.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to say, please, this is a public service message. Do not look at your phone while driving unless you're watching this show, okay? Or that video of a goat playing the piano, because some things are worth dying for. That's the way I want to...
I'm not familiar with that one. In fact, I want to go Google it right now.
No. Not right now. You're probably... Half the time I'm doing the show, you're over there on YouTube. No, just do what I do. Here's what I do. If I'm going to send a text, I pledge to pull the car over, okay? And if I'm going to send a dick pic, I pledge to use the enlarge feature on my camera. Just keep...
Larger!
Need a better phone. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I made fun of my penis. Thank you. Here's a weird story. Did you hear this? A Texas woman is suing the Houston Astros for $1 million because she said the Astros mascot, Orbit, permanently injured her finger with a T-shirt cannon. This is a real story, yes. She put her hands up for a T-shirt, and I think she got hit, and so she's suing for $1 million. Yeah, and I'm kind of worried because the other night we had a similar situation during our pre-show warm-up. Take a look.
I just beat cancer.
Not many comedy bits end with the line, "I just beat cancer." And I think we get points for that. I really do. I think that puts us... No, I didn't. I said no. No. I said points, not applause. Changing topics into politics, the rumor is that Joe Biden is going to announce he's running for president later this month. Yeah. Well, actually, he's not going to announce it. He's going to whisper it into someone's hair. As you know, Joe Biden's still drawing controversy about the way he touches people. At a recent event, he put his hand on the host, and then he joked, "I have permission." And that...
Oh, give him a break, people.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's Dana, one of our cue card people. Dana, you think people should give Biden a break?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that apology video he put out last week, and I thought he looked really sorry.
Yeah. So you think Biden needs to apologize?
Apologize for what? For being friendly? And supportive?
Well, okay, some people are saying it's a generational issue.
Yeah, I mean, he is an elderly man showing affection the way he was taught to behave.
So you think it's a problem specifically with older men?
Well, not all old men, Conan. You've always been very respectful.
You know, I'm not that old.
Of course you're not. You look very young for your age.
I'm sorry, what's your card say?
It says you're great.
Oh. Okay, great. Well, anyway, thank you, but back to Biden. Do you think this is going to hurt his chances of becoming president?
It could. Times have changed. America no longer tolerates inappropriate touching from our leaders.
So, I'm curious, what do you think the solution is?
Well, if things are going to improve, these men might have to give up something that they enjoy. And in the long run, I think we need to re-educate men about physical boundaries. We also need to... We also need to confront toxic masculinity and encourage other men to call out improper behavior wherever they see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could also elect women.
Huh. I never thought of that.
Dana and cue cards, everybody. We have a great show tonight. Author of Bob Honey, Who Just Do Stuff, two-time Academy Award-winning actor, Mr. Sean Penn is on the program. We'll see you in a second. My guest tonight is a two-time Academy Award-winning actor and the founder of CORE, the relief organization that has helped the people of Haiti immeasurably since the devastating 2010 earthquake. He's also written this book, Bob Honey, Who Just Do Stuff, which is now out in paperback. Please welcome the very, very busy Sean Penn. You look very good. I like the way you're dressed right now. You look like you were just, I don't know, feeding wood into a chipper when you got the call to come on the Conan show, and you're like, all right.
I thought you might say something about that. And I was thinking, because now it's pretty much a daily thing. I used to, you know, if coming to something like this,
right,
you know, put on a suit or. But I realized at a certain point that, notwithstanding anything else, this had become disheveled all by itself. So now I'm just harmonizing.
You're getting it all in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same reason I don't wear a suit anymore. I just hit a certain age, and I'm like, I'm not wearing a suit.
Yeah, it's more comfortable too.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you here.
It's great to be here.
You know, I mentioned Haiti in the introduction. We have a lot to talk about. I mentioned Haiti and all the amazing work that you've done there. And it occurred to me today, you've done this great work in a lot of places. There's flooding, catastrophe in New Orleans. You show up there. You show up or have a reputation of showing up when there's trouble and people need help. And it was occurring to me today, that might be a problem in your life because people might start to expect, oh, we've had a problem in our city, Sean Penn's gonna come.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But in a way that would be an unrealistic expectation. Do you know what I mean?
Two versions of that have happened with me. One is people see me somewhere where there is no problem and ask me if something bad is about that.
And you're like, no, I just came to J. Crew to get a sweater.
But then something bad happens. And it wasn't me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then the other is, yes, there's an expectation. I've gone through numerous airports where someone who identifies whatever their sense of me is with let's say not just with Haiti,
right,
but maybe that in their mind it means not with the United States of America.
Right.
So, you know, what are you doing in Houston?
Yeah.
Where we had our people working at the time.
Right.
But I kind of want to respond, you first. What are you doing in Houston?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can only be so many places.
Now, you put, you know, so much work into this, and you're writing now, and successfully writing. Do you ever feel this sense that, like, oh, I got to get back and do more acting? Or is this stuff feeling more vital to you now?
I don't enjoy acting on a movie anymore. I mean, if it was something, you know, a couple of days,
right,
something like that. But I don't.
A couple of days?
Yeah, you know.
What movie could you do? Literally, you just, a movie where your role is to just peek in and go, you know, eclairs anyone? No? Okay, and then shut the door?
No, you play the attendant at the gas station. Or...
You have 2 Academy Awards. It doesn't work. Unleaded or you want regular? Okay, all right, I'll go.
So that gets you 2 well-paid days.
Very well paid. Yeah. I have to ask you, on the subject of acting, you've had so many great parts, so many iconic roles. One of the ones that I think captured everybody's imagination so early in your career, obviously, was your Fast Times at Ridgemont High, character Jeff Spicoli. And you know, you and I have talked a couple of times, and I've never worked up the nerve to ask you, was that character, I mean, that character influenced so many people later on, in their lives or in their acting, became Jeff Spicoli. And I was curious, did that character that was so seismic for you and for everyone else, was it based on anybody?
Well, first there was Cameron Crowe's book where he had somebody in his mind when he wrote the character.
Right.
When I read his book, this is at the same time as I read his screenplay. When the movie, a lot of people don't know that was a book, Fast Times at Ridgemont High first. And when I read it, I immediately heard somebody I knew. Yeah, there's a fella that grew up in the neighborhood where I grew up.
This is in Malibu?
Yeah, so I was in the Valley till '69. So at 9, I moved to the beach, and I was first introduced to somebody who was rhythmically aligned with that character.
It's a very nice way to put it.
He was kind of an extraordinary, and so from the time I was, I guess, 9 to 17, I would see an awful lot of him, and I surfed, and so I'd be in the water. I knew him, and he just jumped off the page.
So this guy, this is a real person. Did this person ever know that he was the inspiration for you anyway, or some of the inspiration for Jeff Spicoli?
I really don't think so. But part of that may have had to do with him not knowing where he was.
Have you run into this person since?
So about 2 months ago. I went out for a surf. And I was coming up this trail back to the road, and this fella and his kids and family coming down. Very well-spoken guy, looked like a businessman or something. And he says, "Sean, how are you?" And I'm shaking his hand, and you know, I can see a very, you know, a family man. And then he said his name, and it was him.
Yeah.
I would never have thought that anything normal was going to come from that soil.
The actor who's sort of the icon for a lot of people in our generation is Jack Nicholson. You know, young actors, and just pretty much anyone in the culture idolizes Jack Nicholson, and I know that was true for you. And there's a story that when you did The Crossing Guard, you directed your mom in a scene with Jack Nicholson. Is that right?
Yeah.
What would that, I mean, I would be, first of all, that's your idol with your mom and you're directing. That would be a strange situation, I would imagine.
I was giddy that day because it felt like I was playing a practical joke on both of them. And in the scene, she's complaining to him, he plays the jeweler, and in the scene, she's showing him that the ring that won't go on her finger is not a size 7, her ring size. So she's complaining, and he finally gets fed up. And he grabs her hand, and he puts her finger in his mouth to slick it.
Yeah.
And then shoves the ring on, and he says, "See, a perfect 7."
Yeah.
So my mother, who was always kind of invested in cleanliness,
Yeah.
she was in her trailer getting ready for the scene with like this Pfizer Hex or Pfizer Derm, like scrubbing her hands.
Right, right.
And so she came to set and very proudly announced to Jack, "Jack, I want you to know that I've thoroughly scrubbed my hands. They're absolutely clean." He says, "That's good, Ma. You're on your own with my mouth."
You were on before talking about Bob Honey, Who Just Do Stuff, and I want to make it clear, this is out now in paperback, but you are working on the next book, which I believe is Bob Honey Sing Jimmy Crack Corn. That's a continuation of this book, is that right?
Yeah, it's a direct continuation of this.
And when you wrote this book, and when we talked about it, you talked a little bit about possibly whether or not some characters in it were inspired by people in real life, but you were a little cagey about it. You've since painted, there's a picture, there's a character in the book called the Landlord. And when I was reading the story, I thought, is this possibly who I think it might be? I'm not sure. You didn't say. You've since painted a picture, a painting of the character, the Landlord, and you've brought it with you. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I paint as I'm writing. So this was one of those. And some people find a familiar face in the paintings or in the descriptions.
Let's take a look at, this is the person, and I don't know if you see, it's all, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
It's obviously Ron Perlman.
Yeah. We'll let it go. We'll let it go. When can we expect the next book?
September.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob Honey Sings Jimmy Crack Corn is out in September.
All right. Well, I want to make sure we get the word out. Bob Honey, Who Just Do Stuff, is available right now in paperback. So make sure you go out and get this. And of course, Bob Honey Sing Jimmy Crack Corn out in September. And for more information on CORE, and this is really important, go to coreresponse.org. They're doing the Lord's work. Sean Penn, so cool. Really, thank you so much for being here. That was great. Thank you. Say friend, one second. Stay right there. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Sean Penn, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Good night, everybody.